Welcome back to Inside the Majors. After some time off following the Majors 24 and the end of the Sudspeed MEC Season 2, plus a little 3-week trip to the US with the family, we are back and fully into the Majors world again here on the podcast. Over the next 2 weeks, spanning 4 podcasts, we're going to get caught up on all that's been and all that is coming up in the Majors series, as well as hear from all 4 of our division-winning Sudspeed MEC teams from Season 2, after the season finished last month at Road America. For the first part of the series today, we'll hear from our LMP2 winners, and to be honest, that was the most closely fought of all the divisions, and we'll hear a bit more about that in the interview I had a couple of days ago with them. But before we get to that, after this quick message, we will take a brief look at the top split of the Majors 24, as well as some other key event highlights. So, thank you for your patience with the podcast being on break, but it's great to be back with you now for episode 46 of Inside the Majors.
G'day everyone, Richard here, co-founder of Sudspeed. Chris and I started this business to create the best sim racing glove, one that's lightweight, breathable and super grippy. We have a range of clean motorsport-inspired designs and most importantly, they're great value, shipped right to your door almost anywhere in the world. We love the guys at Majors and we're proud supporters of the MEC. When you buy your gloves at sudspeed.com, make sure you use the discount code MAJORS at checkout for 10% off. See you on track.
Okay, so it seems an age ago, 2 months now, but this year's Majors 24 was, in every sense of the word, epic. Records everywhere. We had 998 teams at the time registrations closed. We were briefly over 1,000, so that's a target for us next year, which saw a whopping 18 jam-packed splits take on the event. So big was it that at one stage in race week, after we had to more than double the pre-queue sessions that we were putting up, we literally made smoke come out of the iRacing servers. I think it was 12 concurrent pre-queue sessions or something like that, and essentially all of them filled up with drivers registering within the first 5 minutes. About that time, someone sent a picture of the iRacing status page and, well, it was certainly feeling the load. Speaking of pre-queue, the additional paid pre-queue runs from this year's event generated $2,490 US for charity, which if we did nothing else right from the event, that is an amazing number. But I can pretty confidently say that plenty of other things went right, thanks in no small part to the admin team of stewards and the committee members, led this year by Chris Sawalich, who took charge of the stewarding and race direction and safety cars in all of the splits for the full 24 hours. A mammoth effort and a great support to Mike this year. With 18 splits, we can't possibly go through the results of all of them, but if anyone hasn't checked out the amazing website, which is simrecap.com/Majors24, there are some great insights and stats in as much detail as you'd like for all of the splits, as well as the results. Sim Recap also shows that across the 18 splits combined, there was 4,026 drivers, 76% of the cars were running at the finish, there was over 300,000 laps completed in the race, and 76,724 X's. So our combined safety rating is, well, shit. In top split, the winners in GTP were Logitech G ODBM Jupiter, in LMP2 Delatraz Automotive by PC Design, and in GT3 it was Vesta Sport 211, and there were some absolutely huge names from the iRacing sim world amongst all of those teams. So a huge congratulations to them. Top Split did have a pretty late safety car in the race, which meant that the gaps were very tight amongst the top 5 or even top 10 in GT3, but it was a very closely fought throughout race, as you would expect, with a strength of field of over 6,000 average. For me personally, our team had 2 hardware failures that put to bed our chances of a podium in Split 4. Our split was pretty interesting because it rained for pretty much 3/4 of the race, but to be fair, not in any way close to what occurred in Split 10. To all the teams in that race, especially the winners and the cars that were still running at the end, no matter how many dozens of laps down you were, I hope you took some great experiences from it, and I'm sure you will always remember it. Well done on surviving. Coins have been arriving all over the world for weeks now. I hope those lucky enough to claim them have felt plenty of pride when they showed up in the mail. If you still have not received yours, please check your address was correct on your Majors profile, and there is a channel for assistance in tracing coins if you need it in the Majors Discord. Okay, that was a pretty good roundup. Thanks again to all who raced in this year's 24. If you liked it, come and try our shorter but otherwise pretty similar Sudspeed MEC events starting next month with Season 3 with 4 8-hour races. And just like the guests on the other side of this break, you never know. You might be on here with me in December as an MEC divisional champion. We'll get to that interview in just a minute.
Hey, you know that guy who just before the green flag keys up his mic and asks, "Anybody got a setup?" Well, this is him. This is Adam, and hey, Adam needs some help. On the other hand, this guy over here, this is Steve. Steve is a solid racer and he knows his way around the garage. Steve's problem is time. With a job and a family, he can't find enough time to build competitive setups and to race as often as he likes. But as luck would have it, Steve knows a secret. He lets the Majors Garage crew chiefs do the setup work so he can focus on the racing. At majorsgarage.com, Steve can get setups for over 60 cars on the iRacing service. So no matter what series he wants to jump into, he is covered. Somebody, anybody, really should tell Adam. See you at the garage.
With me today, I have the first guests in our Sudspeed MEC Season 2 Champion Series, the Moradness Squad, who were victorious in the LMP2 class for the first part of 2026. With me, I have Chad, Adam and Justin from the team. And firstly, gentlemen, congratulations on the series win and welcome to Inside the Majors.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Let me start at the end here. I want to run you through some analysis of the finale at Road America that I did. Coming into the final race, you were in second position in the points, but there was actually 5 teams with a mathematical and, to be realistic, fair chance of finishing as champions. If we look at the relative positions and scores throughout the 12 hours, there were times that all 5 of those teams were the virtual champions on the road. And I want to run through this to give the listeners an idea of just how crazy this was in the final race in LMP2. After qualifying and at the beginning of the race, the virtual leaders of the championship were Fusion. On lap 71, the champion on the road would have been JWR. Lap 73, Fusion. 74, JWR. 78, Fusion. 87, JWR. Lap 88, Cronus GG would actually have been champions if the race had been stopped at that point. Then lap 89, Fusion. Lap 102, JWR. Lap 106, Fusion and JWR were tied on points. Lap 113, Fusion were in front. Lap 117, JWR was in front. Lap 120, Fusion in front. Lap 192, SRN Esports Gold suddenly was the virtual leader of the championship. Then 193, Fusion. 199, JWR. Lap 209, SRN Esports. And lap 213 was the first time that Moradness actually was the leader on the road. And then 220, Moradness and JWR were tied. Lap 224, Fusion. 25, Moradness. 245, Fusion. Lap 253, Moradness. Lap 271, JWR was leading the championship. And then lap 275, Moradness, who then held on to win at the end of lap 23. Now, sorry, that took a little while. But that's just insane. That was 25 times in the final race that the virtual leader of the championship changed hands on the track. And it wasn't just one team passing another for the lead. It was all the positions swapping around through the teams that had a chance up and down the field. It was all constantly moving, creating different scenarios and combinations. So again, sorry, that took a bit of time. But from your perspective, guys, you weren't in a leading position for the points until lap 225, well past halfway in that race. And even then, it chopped and changed until basically the last 90 minutes. Tell us the tale of your race. What were the stress levels like? And were you following the points for what you needed to win the championship as you went?
I'm coming into the race. We knew all the top 5 teams were so close on points. Basically, we came into the race. We needed to win. That's the only thing we had looking forward to us. We weren't trying to podium. We weren't trying to get top 5. We wanted to win. So coming up to the week, prepping, we devised a strategy and it ended up working out perfectly for us. Like you said, we didn't have much at the beginning of the race, but we just stuck to the strategy and everybody just played their parts to a T.
As you said, things didn't quite go to plan. You went down a lap early. Was it just a case of staying calm and knowing it would come back to you?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, when we were lapped down, that was me being the slowest LMP2 on the track. But my only goal or my only strategy was just to keep the car clean for the laps that I was doing, regardless if I went down a lap or not.
I'm not sure who was in the car at the time, but at some point in the first quarter of the race also, you had to use your fast repair. Tell us about what the incident was that caused that and what the plan was after that.
Well, that was me. I had planned on starting the race, but once we saw the weather and some other things, we decided to go ahead and have me start the race. The first stint went fine, but it was either after the yellow flag, I hit the wall after the first lap, went in and just went ahead and took the fast repair. Because if I didn't take the fast repair, that was going to put us too far down. and I knew that Adam and Alec were going to run the car a lot cleaner than I would, so I just had to do the remaining stint without any more incidents.
And as you did get back on the lead lap and started having to push through the field and actually overtaking other cars, how did you find the relative pace to the other cars? Was it relatively easy to move forward? Was it some luck from other teams having incidents? I know after one of the safety car restarts, there was 4 LMP2s involved in a single incident, which you guys managed to avoid. How was it moving through the field once you started to make that progression back to the front?
I think moving through the field wasn't too bad. I know we had pace to be at the front. We just had to be clean, play it safe, not make a lot of moves that probably wouldn't happen or can devise in contact. And a lot of the other LMP2 cars were being over aggressive, and they made a lot of mistakes. And so as long as we could just keep up on time and check away through the field and not have any issues, we knew we were going to make up time.
And how was the last hour when there's no more safety cars, but the track's dark, you're in position to win? How were the nerves through that last stint and a half?
We had Alec in the car for the end, and the nerves for me were I know what Alec is capable. He's one of the best drivers on our team. He's quick, he's aggressive, he's consistent. Unless there was something beyond his control, I knew he was going to take home the win.
Well, it was certainly a well-executed plan. A win was always going to see you take the championship home, so you knew once you'd crossed the line, the championship was yours. If I could go back to the very start, round 1 for you didn't happen because you only joined ahead of round 2. When you came into the series, did you think a championship win was still possible, having already burnt the drop round basically before you started?
To be honest, no. I saw the series, it was right after the first round happened, and so I messaged Chad. And I was like, "Hey, are you interested in running this?" And he was. And I think the first 2 races we did, we had really good positions. And I'm like, man, if we can keep this up throughout the last coming rounds, we have a fight for the championship. And I know Chad had some issues and had to back out a couple rounds, so we had some fill-ins. Justin's with us right now. Me and him won at Indy. We had another guy, Mike, run with Alec. They won their race. So all the 5 drivers we had in this championship just did a phenomenal job. It's the only championship I've ever run where every race has gone out flawless. The strategy has worked out perfect, and all drivers did exactly what they needed to do.
Justin, I might throw this one to you. Using 5 drivers across the series, how did you decide who did what race? Was it just a case of who was available? Was it a bit more of a horses for courses type thing where drivers that were better suited in their style to a certain track were the ones that you used? How did you shuffle the roster around as the season went?
Well, I got called in for the Indy race because Chad had an eye injury, couldn't compete, and I'm just on the team, and I had normally driven GT3 cars. I'd never driven an LMP car, and I'd never driven Indy, starting on Tuesday that week. So Adam taught me how to drive the LMP car and taught me the track, and ended up working out. I kind of kept the car in one piece, luckily, but he got us the W. I just kept us alive.
So just to provide a little bit of context then as to how the season started for Moradness, and you've gone on to be champions. Missed the first round, so that becomes the drop round. You miss top split at Sebring by next to nothing, but then go on and win split 2 as your first race. CTMP, where you are in top split, doesn't exactly go to plan, and I'm not sure whether that was the weather at the end caught you out or what have you. But then after that start to the season, you've then just gone bang, bang, bang and taken 3 wins in a row. So it's it's a real example of, never give up. You can still get it done, right?
Yeah, we just basically stuck to whatever strategy we had for the race, made sure we had a clean car, and then everything eventually worked out at the end for us.
So how did you manage the pro-am nature of LMP2 class? Was there a set strategy you used every race? Or was it more fluid in terms of meeting the drive times and run plans and that sort of stuff?
I think for a couple of races where it was going to be really close, I think we tried to devise it to get it more close to the minimum drive time. But the races, like I know Indy and Mo Sport, where we even though we had a bad finish at Motorsport. But when we were doing relatively well, we tried to just equal the time for the car. Road America, the finale, we knew we needed the win, so we basically went to minimum drive time and get it done as early as possible.
What have been some of the features of the MEC that you've really enjoyed? Obviously, we try and provide things that you don't get in the officials or special events from iRacing in the series, and really try and create an experience where people feel like they're getting more than what they get out of most other leagues. What have been some of the things you've enjoyed since you joined the MEC?
I really enjoyed the safety car procedures and what that did to the strategy. That I think that was the best part for me, other than driving against people that are way better than I am. But the safety car made a big difference on a lot of our races.
For me, would obviously be the same. The safety car procedures, it just creates more competition, especially when you guys are doing like the lap back. Because let's say, you have an issue, it was beyond your control, the car gets totaled, and now you have to take your fast repair. You get that lap back. Now you're back in the fight. It just keeps everybody motivated and aggressive through a longer race. So for me, I feel like the racing's better and it's tighter. And then one thing particularly I liked, especially for the P2 category, was the Pro-Am. Um, I like the fact of, having higher IR guys run with lower IR guys. It gives us a chance to work together, builds them up, and it also helps teach us things that maybe we're not thinking about anymore, bring us back to the basics. But I really liked working with the AM guys this season.
Yeah, no, I love the pro-am side of things. I never would have even driven a P2 car had I not been called in. And having the strategy aspect of these sorts of races brought a whole new level of thinking and planning. And when you come in for pits, it's not just fill up the gas tank, change the tires, and go hot lap. It's you got to think about, okay, where's the where's the lead GTP car? Where am I relative to the class leader? There's a lot more going. There's a lot more that goes into the race. It's a great way to keep people engaged and interested, and for the entire race, rather than if you go a lap down or a couple laps down, you're done. You might as well just pull the car in. So I really like that aspect of it.
Yeah, it's a shame that the tyre bug for limited sets of tyres is still around because it would have been nice to add an extra element of strategy into the series with limited tyre sets as well. Actually, we did do that at Daytona, which is obviously the race you guys missed. But yeah, with teams having extra tyres taken off them at various times, we just couldn't do it for the rest of the season. So it'd be great to bring that back in the future if we get the opportunity to. Next year, we will be moving to tyres and fuel being at different times. So at least that provides an opportunity to do something a little different on strategy again over what we've been able to do this year. I did forget to ask, and Adam, this is probably one for you, how you found the Sudspeed MSC in the beginning and decided to come and join.
Well, we run majors every year. The Majors 24 is one of the biggest races of the year. The Le Mans 24, you guys are the only ones that do it. So we've been running it for 4 or 5 years now. And I took a break from IVRA. There wasn't a lot of leagues going on, and I was just bored. And I was actually looking on your website because we were, looking to prep into majors, and I was looking info for that, and I saw, the different series you had, and then I saw MEC, and I was like, I just thought it would be perfect, especially to get some of these AM guys to start running some championships and get them into the leagues again. And so when I was looking for majors, I saw MEC and I messaged Chad. I was like, hey, man, are you interested in running this series? It doesn't work for your time. He's like, dude, that actually works out perfect. And we registered for the next race.
You mentioned the Majors 24. Moradness team this year missed top split in Majors 24 by I think it was 100th of a second. But went on to win the LMP2 class in Split 2. And Alec, your teammate from the MEC, was part of that team. How is it to watch your teammates, even when you aren't driving, bring home a Majors 24 at such a high level of the splits?
Oh, it was great. We were actually in the same split, but I actually drove GT3. We didn't have as much luck, but it was really nice seeing him in the car, even though, Alec decided to send me into one of the chicanes when I didn't want him to, and I'm yelling at him, yelling at this guy. I'm like, why would you send it? And then I look up, I'm like, it was Alec. but he was battling a car behind. So, I guess, I was too much into the race and I wasn't seeing who's on my relative, and you probably should have let him pass and cut the other guy off. But it was fun seeing him on track. It's always fun seeing another teammate car on track, and for them to have that good of a finish, it's just a great thing.
Meanwhile, I
Um,
was in split 10 when it rained 22 and a half hours.
Oh, my condolences. Yeah, look, to be fair, the Majors 24 is the one race a year that I get to not be an admin around Majors and just be a driver. And we were in split 4, and we had 18 or 19 hours of rain in ours. Now, it wasn't as heavy as split 10, don't get me wrong. It was not a monsoon, but we had plenty of wet driving as well. But sorry. At least you guys weren't in split 2 for the final Majors race as well, where we had a repeat of that, but possibly even worse. But yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
For anyone listening that wasn't part of the MEC race, Split 2 actually was Major's first ever red flag, because it just literally became unraceable, and we built another server and then carried on for the second half of the race in a different session. So obviously your teammates took out the LMP2 class in Split 2, but your race didn't go quite as well. There's always a tail or a point in the race where you can pinpoint, that's where it went bad. For you guys in your own races, tell us what that was, and the tail of your Majors 24.
Ours for GT3, I ran with David Shores, Miguel Colon, and Alex Rogers, and they were all on point. I was the weak driver in the car, but we were doing relatively well. I think, I can't remember who it was, but someone had an issue through one of the chicanes, and that's where it went wrong. And we were probably about 12 hours in, halfway in. And then we did a driver change. Driver gets in the car and has no force feedback. So we had some issues on track, software failures, and it was just all downhill from there.
Justin, your 24s?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't see much of it. We couldn't see that much in our. No, it was fun. I mean, I had really never driven in the rain much before that, and I actually feel pretty comfortable in it now. After that, it was a little bit frustrating to prep so long in the dry conditions and then have all wet. But I mean, now I'm part of the split 10 lore, so it's fun. We had a good time. We couldn't see much the whole time, but the team who won our split was deserved of it. In that rain, they had, I think, only 14 incidents over 24 hours in the rain, which is, I think, if not the lowest, it was like the second lowest in the entire field, which is pretty amazing in my opinion. So they deserved it.
That's quite impressive. So well done, whoever that team was. And I'm not sure whether I know that there was discussion at some point about somebody doing a "we survived split 10" coins. I'm not sure if that actually ever happened or not, but I think certainly T-shirts or coins or something to remember having got to the end of split 10 is certainly worthwhile. Poor Brian Zinn, I think, seems to have been the person in the Majors world that's got his own little storm cloud that follows him around. He was in the Daytona race that we did for MEC that had an hour under safety car because it was too wet. He was in split 10 for the Majors 24. I'm not sure if he was in split 2 for the MEC in the last one. I think he might have missed that one, so he's finally got away from it. But the big black clouds seem to be following him around. So anyway, well done on getting through split 10. Now, outside of the Majors world, what else do you guys personally and Moradness also do in sim racing?
I originally started running PRL. PRL was the main league I ran, and that's how I, got introduced to my first sim racing team, which was YS Motorsports, and that's how I met Dan and got the chance to run with Moradness. So PRL was the main league I always ran. They shut down, and once I got into Moradness and with all the coaching and the help from all the guys in here, and I became, just a better overall sim racer. Started doing IVRA. And so IVRA was always our main league. I think it's one of the most competitive leagues there is out there. And they just announced that they're taking a break for a while, which is super sad. So, we're looking elsewhere, but outside of majors, we also run NARL, North American Racing League. Scott Rister runs that over there. That's also a very competitive league. It's a lot of fun. So right now we're doing a Porsche Cup Series. It is tough, man. You got like Dino Filippo out there. You got a lot of top guys, 10K drivers. So those would probably be the other leagues I run outside of majors.
And of course, we concentrate on all the special events. So we usually have a couple cars or so running into special events.
Do any of you have any real world racing experience? So outside of our lounge rooms or studies or spare rooms or whatever, wherever we are. Yeah.
I have not.
Nor have I.
And neither have I. Of course, I missed the time. It was a couple of years ago that Daniel Morad brought about 12 to 14 guys down to Texas to drive the GT4 that he was racing at the time, but I didn't get to go down there. So probably about half our team has at least driven a GT4.
That sounds
Yes,
like it would have been a cool day.
Yeah, I was there for that, and I spun it. I looped it on the back stretch, and that's why I got the nickname Spinway. True story.
The greater Moradness Squad, how many people are there involved in your team?
What do you think there is, Chad? Probably like 30 or 40 of us?
Probably 30.
Yeah. I think I've been here 3-4 years now, and I think what it started as was like a team, a building block, but it's become way more than that. We don't kick people, we don't recruit that much. We're all a family. We all hang out together. We actually have a trip in September. We're all meeting up to go to Road Atlanta. We got an Airbnb with a pool. We do Christmas together every year. We talk together every day. So it's more than a team. We're really a family. That's the one thing I can say. The camaraderie is amazing. It's awesome.
Yeah, we don't run it like you have strict practices or strict anything. It's just be you and race when you can and do the best you can and then enjoy everybody's company.
The fast guys help the slower guy or the newer guys and mentor them up, and it's been great to learn from the faster guys. It's going to make it makes everyone a little bit faster.
I suppose the final question that I've got for today, will we see Moradness back to defend the title in season 3 of the MEC starting next month?
I think you can. We're trying to run logistics right now, and I know hopefully we'll have another LMP2 car back on the field, but we're trying to, we would really like to get more cars on the field. So I think you will see us come back to defend the title. Maybe not all the same drivers, but hopefully expect to see more cars on track as well. So everybody else that's racing, just be ready.
Well, as defending champions, already a space for you in the Division 1. Look, it was enthralling to see the fight, especially at the last race. The way you turned the second half of the season into your own, can only say well done and congratulations for it. The championship plaques will be on their way as we speak. Thanks for giving us some time today on Inside the Majors to tell us about your season win.
Appreciate it, Gary.
Thanks, Gary.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, bud.
Fuck off is such a lovely pair of words, and it's international. Fuck off doesn't mean go away. Fuck off means fuck off. You say, hey, fuck off. He knows exactly what you mean. He will fuck off. Off he will fuck.